In this video, we're gonna create this calculator with the glowing neon effect buttons. Let's get into it. So to start the project, just create a new folder, open it up in VS Code. I have my background image here. I will leave the link in the description for that, and create a index.html, style.css. Let's create the boilerplate as well, and let's delete those default padding and margin, box sizing, border box. And we don't need a font actually, but let's set the bobbins and link that in here real quick. Let's say neon calculator. And we also gonna need this extension called live server. Just download this if you haven't installed it yet, and after you install it, right click, open with live server, and open the file in your web browser. And we are ready to go. Let's start with the HTML. As always, say calculator, and let's create another div for the content. Let's say input text and give it a placeholder 0 and a ID of input box. And let's create the buttons. Let's create another div with the buttons inside. It's going to be 4. It's going to be all clear button, delete, modulo, and this one is going to be clear, and this one's also going to be clear, main, and also this one is going to be main too. And we're gonna create like I think 6 of this, so let's copy this, and let me put some space between those. It can be confusing. And this one is going to be 7, 8, 9, and multiply sign, and those are not gonna have any classes. And let's create another one. This one is going to be 4, 5, 6, and minus. And let's also clear that classes as well. And another one. This one is going to be 1, 2, 3, and plus. Let's also delete those. And that is going to be main, by the way. Why did I delete that one? I don't know. And last one, 0, point, and a equal. Let's delete this one. Also delete those classes. And that is it with the HTML. Let's also add the script tag. Let's create that script file real quick. And that is it with the HTML. Let's style it. Okay, so let's start by styling that body and adding the image. Say URL, background, repeats, no repeats, background size, cover, and minimum height 100 VH. Let's see. Okay. VH. And the calculator is going to be height 100 VH with 100%. Gonna make this a flex box, and let's put everything in the middle of the page. And content is going to be background. I'm going to copy paste my colors. So if you want to use the same color, pause the video and type the same. Backdrop filter Gonna give it a bit of a blur, a border, a slightly transparent border. Let's give it a padding of 26 pixels and border radius as well. And let me copy paste that box shadow. Let's see how's it going. We have the glass effect. Let's also style the input. Let's say width 330, padding 25, margin 10, and I'm gonna make the background transparent, border none, outline none, font size 45, and what else? Are we gonna put everything to the right? We're gonna make it white. So let's keep going with the input placeholder. Gonna make it white because it's hard to see. Nice. And my favorite, let's style the button. Give it a padding 15 pixel, border none, and width 60, height 60. Give it a border radius 10 pixel. We're gonna make the buttons transparent because we wanna make them glow. The neon effect. Let's give it a border. Font size 21. Let's make it a bit bold. Color white. A small margin as well. And cursor pointer. Yeah, looks much better. And let's add the hover effect. So we're gonna say background color. Let me copy paste this glowing effect. It's gonna take forever to type on my own, so you can pause the video and type the same. Let's see if it works. There you go. We're gonna change some of the buttons to a different color. Let's finish up with all the styling. Gonna say 144, font weight 700, color white, and background transparent. And it didn't change anything because I forgot to change that. Class to equal. There you go. And what else? Let's see. Oh, let's add the neon effect to the equal button as well. Let me copy paste this real quick. There you go. But of course, it's going to be hover. Yeah, and also you're gonna change the color of these buttons as well. Let's say clear, background color transparent, color white, font weight 400, and when we hover over it, let me copy paste that again. Gonna make it red. Yeah, that looks cool. And the main, background transparent, color white, and on hover it's going to be green. Yeah, it works fine. And that is pretty much it with the styling. So let's make it work. Okay, for the JavaScript, let's start with taking those elements that we're going to use. Let's say input box. We're going to put some functions into those elements. Say query selector all buttons. So we selected all the buttons in that page, and we're going to create a empty string, and we're gonna create a array using all the buttons. And for each button, let me actually finish this off real quick, and I'm going to explain what are we doing. So basically we're going to add functionality to every button. For example, this one is going to be the equal button, and we're going to make it evaluate whatever value you clicked on. So let's say you said 50 plus 50, and it is going to sum it up, basically. Say input value equals to string, and else if e.target inner HTML equals to all clear. So this button obviously going to delete whatever is in that input box, and this one delete is just going to delete one value. So we're going to say substring 0 string.length -1, because as I said, just one value, not everything. String e.target inner HTML, and input that value equals string. And this one is going to be DE, by the way, so let's delete that real quick. So let's see if it works. Yeah, it works. Okay, so I'll try to explain this one by one. So first, we put the input box tag into a variable and all the buttons in the HTML to this variable. And we have this empty string to hold on to the values you click. So basically when you click on a button, those numbers are stored inside that string. And for all the buttons, we create functions for each. So this one, for example, let me put some space between those. It can get really confusing. So this one is for the equal button. It basically says if you put something inside, when you click on this, it's gonna evaluate, and it basically gonna get the job done. And the second one, AC all clear, is basically going to clear whatever is inside that string. So let's say we put this number, if you click on this, it deletes it. And the DE delete, it's just gonna delete one single digit, as I explained. And the last one is basically just puts that value you clicked on into that input box. And everything works well, so we are done. This is how you create a calculator with the glowing neon effect. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.